Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync Mojo Dialer to your iCloud contacts account. So all those leads you qualify in Mojo Dialer can automatically get synced right to your iPhone. Mojo Dialer is a super powerful tool. They have a triple line dialer feature, so you can dial through your prospects and leads 3 times faster than you could on your normal phone or using a single line dialer. Let me show you what it looks like once you have this sync set up. So you're here in Mojo, you've made your great call and you want to send it over to the connected app. All you do is click this drop down under actions and you're going to click send to API Nation. That's going to send it immediately to the connected app through API Nation. And if you want to check on what's going on with the sync, you can always click on this integrations tab and it's going to show you the complete history of how often that has gotten synced to your connected app. Also, because it is synced, it's synced in real time. So any changes you make to this contact now in Mojo will continue to update this contact in your connected app. Let me show you how to set up this integration. First thing you're going to do is go to apination.com and you're going to click on Start Syncing. There it's going to take you to a page full of apps, marketing apps, productivity apps, real estate apps. You're going to scroll on down till you get to M for Mojo Dialer and click on that. Once you click on Mojo, you're going to see all the apps you can sync with Mojo Dialer. You're going to scroll on down till you get to iPhone Contacts iCloud. So I'm going to click on that. And you're going to see the sync available is to send contacts from Mojo to iCloud. So I'm going to activate that sync. The first step is to sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have one, you can click here to create one, or you can sign in or create an account with your Google account. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Make that connection. Now we're going to connect both of these apps. So first we're going to connect Mojo. Just hit this big connect button. Sign into Mojo and that makes the connection. Next you're going to connect iCloud. I already have a connection available here, but to set one up, I would just hit the connect button. There's these instructions here on how to connect it. Basically you'll need your Apple ID. So I put my Apple ID in there. And then you're going to need a password, but it's not a normal password. It's something called an app-specific password. And let me show you how to create that through the Apple website. So to get this password, you would go to appleid.apple.com, and don't worry, all the instructions are here if you click on this link on API Nation. There's also a video tutorial that shows you how to do this. But once you're on appleid.apple.com, you would sign in. Once you sign in, you're going to see a page that looks like this. Sign in and security. And then you're going to go ahead and go to app-specific passwords. It might ask you for your normal iCloud password again. So I'm going to put my iCloud password in. And then it's going to allow me to create an app-specific password. So I'm going to call this one API Nation. That's where this password is going. So I hit create. It's going to give me these numbers and letters. I guess just letters. And I'm going to highlight them all, hit Control-C or Command-C to copy. Go back to API Nation and paste it in the password area. So that's your app-specific password. You got to go grab that from Apple. So I'm going to hit connect, and that's going to make that connection. And you can select it here. There you go. You've connected Mojo. You've connected your iCloud contacts. Now you're going to choose which group from Mojo you want synced over. I'm going to go with all. I'm going to pay attention to all the groups. Anybody I click that send to API Nation, I want it sent to my iPhone. And then there's this do not override information in iCloud. If I click that, it's going to send a contact over to my iCloud iPhone contacts. And then if I add anything into other fields in the future, it'll send those over. But actually I'm going to unclick this because I want to send over notes and I want it to keep overriding that notes field with the latest notes. So I'm going to hit subscribe. And that's going to create this sync of sending everybody from all the groups as long as I hit that send to API Nation button in Mojo. It's going into my iCloud account. There's a filter here if you want. You don't have to filter it, but if you want to filter by any of these things from Mojo, you can. And then if I come down here, you can see the mapping is done mostly for us. First name's going to first name, last name to last name. There's a ton of fields in iCloud, those iPhone contacts that you can sync to. So go through here and just map up everything you want to make sure you have all the information you want. For example, here's work phone. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get that information in there. Main phone. I'll just put that phone number in there. Primary phone. That's perfect. And then, like I said, notes is another big one. I'm going to come down here to notes. And I'm going to sync the notes from Mojo into my iCloud notes. This looks great. I'm going to go to the top and activate this sync. And there we go. This sync is now up and running. The only other thing I would suggest here is if you wanted to be more particular about sending groups over to your iPhone, for example, I could map it up so that only hot leads are coming over. I still have to click that Send to API Nation button, but if I add somebody to that hot lead group, and then I come down here, and maybe I do something like name their company Hot Leads or Mojo Hot Leads. And then I use that company field in my iCloud to keep track of which group they're in Mojo. So I can put it there. I know some people will actually just put it in the notes. They'll put it at the top of the notes here. Come down here to notes and put it right there. And then I got the group at the top, the notes below it. So you can do something like that, or you can pop it into maybe like job title or one of these other fields you might not be using. So I could do that, and then I would have this sync running, sending all my hot leads, and then I could just clone this for every other group that I want to sync over. So I could do new leads, and then I would just come down here to the notes and change that from hot leads to new leads to reflect that that is where it's coming from. So there's a couple different options. You can sync all groups and then just not worry about it once it gets into your iPhone, or you can specify which group and then make sure you write in the notes which group is getting sent over. A couple different options. Either way, it's gonna make you more productive. That's it. That's how you set up the sync. Now you're gonna be able to dial through and prospect 3 times faster. It's super easy to set up, and you're gonna be able to create more deals. If you have any questions or need any help setting up this sync, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, and we are connecting the world's applications.